And as always, you guys, we're back. We're back in live and living color. I'm so happy you guys got a chance to come back, hang out with us at Jimmy Jam Sessions. We are live and in living color, in the place to be. As always, I say this all the time. We appreciate you, everything you kept us going for 1 year, and we hope to keep those subs going. Please, by any chance you like everything that we're doing, there's that thing called subscribe button. Definitely hit that if you definitely want to be alerted with all the new stuff that we've been doing, and we are going to keep this party going without a shadow of a doubt. And we thank you for that. But we do a lot of hockey content. We do a lot of Gen X stuff. We do some oddball food reviews, throw some stuff, throw some pics on TikTok, whatsoever. But this right here on YouTube is our main course of attraction. But in this video right here, I kind of want to just start throwing everything together because there's this big conundrum in the world that I'm going to make a big, gigantic shout out to Instagram profile called All Sports Culture. And they have some very interesting facts, and we're going to kind of go over them a little bit as we shift over to what we're doing. Now, I have put together a little bit of my own scraps just so we can figure out in the whole entire world of sports that we're running into, what exactly are some things that you know off the top of your head that we need to change? It's 2024. We're headed to 2025. We know it's a hellacious year as far as the Democrats and Republicans. We know it's the liberals and all the crap and going on and every other godforsaken thing, but sports is the same way. For example, let me just throw something at you right now, like these guys, like taunting. Here's the first thing I want to throw at you. Should taunting be allowed? I don't know if it's just NFL. It's a ton of it in the NBA. Hockey has a handful of it, and you see a handful of it in the MLB. You see it all the time in soccer. Should taunting be allowed? I'm kind of 50-50 on this because taunting, you get a 15-yard penalty. I know we've seen a handful of this on there. Now, taunting, you're trying to I know officials are they're trying to keep everybody level-headed. This society doesn't know what level-headed is anymore half the time. You could be like, there was a time where a Chicago Bear just tried to get off the field and accidentally bumped into an official and got a 15-yard penalty for that. And some people just need to wake up in the world. So, taunting, trying to score a touchdown. They're letting celebrations happen in the end zone now. What do you think? I mean, is taunting kind of like that in the NHL? There's a ton of it in baseball. I want your comments. Throw whatever it is, because we are going to be going at it. Next off. Now, I only put this up because I seen something about let the fans vote for primetime games. Now, the kicker is they put these together. They put these games together, not necessarily ahead of time, because there's a fluent schedule. For example, in the NFL, every other year, a certain team plays one division every 3 years. So they have to put it together after a certain schedule. However, when it comes to Monday night games, Sunday night games, and even Thursday night games, people want, and NFL and the media and critics want the ratings. But to make it a fair and just outcome, all 32 teams, in my opinion, and I think that's how they do it. I don't know off the top of their head, but every 32 teams, they at least got to play one Thursday night game. And Dallas and Detroit do that all the time on Thanksgiving. But games get flexed at the end of the year, and some of it may get moved from the 8 o'clock to the 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock to the 8 o'clock. Sometimes a 1 o'clock gets thrown to Sunday night just because it's more important than the 8 o'clock game, so they flex. But Thursday night, Monday nights, there's some of the bad teams don't get Thursday night games. Some of the good teams, like Kansas City, they absolutely have to be on Monday night or Sunday night. And also your popular ones like the Cowboys, the Eagles, the 49ers, anybody that has good records, you want those folks on prime time. It's hard to vote for that. Now, I put Angel Reese up here because it's another thing, and it's called this. Rebounding your own brick doesn't count. So I don't know. So many people know Angel Reese has the record for the most rebounds in a season. It's her rookie year. It's going to be I don't know the whole thing about whether it's going to be her or Caitlin Clark that's going to win Rookie of the Year. I think it's going to be Clark, but she is not is not a great shooter, but hitting layups and just getting your own rebound. Should they count? Should your own rebound count? Technically, it is a shot, and you're bringing it back down. Kind of is, and it's kind of a broken rule, but there's nothing you can do about it. It's like if you hit a if you take a 20-footer and it banks off, and you get your own rebound, same deal. I don't know what to tell you on this. This is kind of a broken rule. Not much I can tell you on that. Now, how about this one? The MLS promotions or relegations. Now, as everybody knows, the MLS has an Eastern and a Western Conference. Kind of different than any of the EPL does it, the La Liga, First Division in Paris. MLS is still one of the top three in the world, but we do our stuff differently here. The same rules apply in FIFA somewhat, but Eastern and Western Conference, the top seven teams in each conference go on. And there's one wild card for each. They changed it up already enough times in the playoff run. They used to go the legs. They used to go the aggregate. Now they go one game, win, and move on. Now the relegations it's so hard because there's going to be 32. I believe there's going to be 31 or 32 teams coming up. San Diego's on the way. Do you take the bottom three or bottom four and move them to the USL? And then you take the USL's top three and move them to MLS? Something to think about, Pittsburgh. Something to think about. But it's such a very, very tight discussion. The UFL. Now, remember, we saw the UFL and the USFL merged. So, what is this about? Make the USFL the NFL's official farm system. And it kind of already is. The USFL already did it during the pandemic. The XFL was trying to do it. That's the Rocks League. And then when it came down to it a couple years as went down, the best decision was to just merge the two. Right now, there's only 8 teams. There may be more down the road. And if you want to use this as kind of like the new World League of American Football, because in the last couple of years, if you remember that league, go back and Google it, and know that any player that was playing in that league, no matter what team they were on, had their team had the NFL logo on the jersey they had as their designation. So I think they're already ahead of the curve on that. So UFL, give it about 4 more cities to go on it, and The Rock doesn't want to do that down the road. Now I bring this guy, Mark Stone of the Vegas Golden Knights. What do you think I should be putting here? Prevent salary cap circumvention, circumvent. I had said it's a family show here. I don't have a whole heck of a lot of details, but the Vegas Golden Knights, and I'm also going to throw Tampa Bay in there. They manipulated the salary cap, which was able down the road to get Mark Stone, who was on long-term injury reserve, to get him on the playoff roster, and that switches everything around and messes up with the salary cap. Now, Tampa did that a while back, and they did it during their dynasty, but it wasn't illegal. So, with that being said, um, Gary Bettman, who I want out of office, and I think a lot of people, a lot of others do as well. Um, the league needs to crack down on the salary cap issues of what teams are trying to do and how teams are trying to manipulate the salary cap. NHL's like the NFL; it's going up every year. The cap is going up every single year. Now, I put this little thing up here. It's just a little bit of a little scrap of the 2023-24 NFL schedule. But why do I put this up? Because add 2 bye weeks. Pretty much in a pretty much sense, the NFL is going to go to 18 games eventually, which means they're going to cut 1 preseason game now. So you go to training camp and you go to 2 preseason games. So there's going to be a lot of players that are going to cut, and they're going to immediately be put into a UFL system or go play Arena League or go play Canada or whatever. Go play in Europe. I don't know. But it's probably a smart idea. 18 games, that's a lot to take a toll on your body. So 2 bye weeks, somewhere in the middle, You can manipulate the schedule. You can fix. There are experts in the NFL that do that. So eventually, I think that's coming down the road. So 2 bye weeks, I don't have an issue with that. This right here is, in fact, the site of Super Bowl 53. What do I put here? Super Bowl Monday is a federal holiday. Super Bowl, basically, Super Bowl Sunday is an unofficial national holiday. Don't matter who, which doesn't matter if your team's in it or not. Um, it's big in retail. It's big in the grocery stores. It's big everywhere, except for maybe a lot of people who just don't want to leave the house. Um, you see people getting parties, the big gigantic boards where they're betting, your parlays, everything like that. Um, but Super Bowl, what is that? They call Super Bowl Monday Hangover Day. It depends if your team's in it. So, you tell me what your comments is as far as being that. I mean, Super Bowl Sunday is already an unofficial national holiday. Now, I put good old Zion Williamson up in here during his days in Duke. But why do I put him up? Because of this. Eliminate the one and done rule. Um, think about this. It's a little bit of a twisted thing. That NCAA March Madness tournament will always be high viewed, no matter what. But the talent level going to the NBA is kind of on the fritz because there's not a lot of superstars and star college athletes staying at least 3 years and not going the full four. Maybe they get done going at least two, and then they jump and and uh, apply for the NBA draft. There's a ton of them, but there's not a lot of that talent. Zion's an outlier. He was a freak of jumping out of the gym. But you see some of these. I mean, Luca played in Europe, and LeBron was just, he's an icon. So you, this is going to be something they're still trying to fix this, and it's I don't know who knows if it'll ever get fixed down the road. Now I bring this up. Why do I have a Canadians jersey up here? It's because of that little patch right there. Why do I put that up there? Because of no jersey ads. Seriously, we're not Europe. And if the NFL does this, they're going to need a freaking Snickers, for God's sake. I'm just recently finding this out. They're starting to put them on in baseball. The Pirates have the Pirates have Sheets, which is their which is a convenience store franchise in Pennsylvania, but it's all starting to hit around the Atlantic coast. But get rid of these things. They're the worst things ever. And we don't want to look like we literally don't want to look like a godforsaken Picasso portrait. Get these things off. And NBA is getting them too. It's the stupidest thing. The only time you get ads on anything, leave them on in soccer. It makes sense in soccer, but they are an absolute sore eye to the sports world or ads. And I get why you're doing it, but seriously, seriously. I put this picture of the strike zone, and I think we all know where this is going. Ball and strike challenge system. Let's just face it. I kind of get sick of baseball because I don't want to say I'm sick of it, but I see a lot of reels and vids of all all the umpires blowing calls or saying they have their own strike zone or whatever. Eventually down the road, there's going to probably be automatic strike zone. There's going to be a robotic system, an AI system. I don't know how it's going to work. I'm not that intelligent, but down the road, there's still going to be complaints. There's still going to be whatever. Baseball's been around for over 120 plus years. Every umpire will have their own strike zone, and it will throw you out for even passing gas the way it goes right now. So it's fun to laugh at just to see people getting thrown out, but in the way speaking the actual game, it's not a laughing matter. It's really not. So your comments for that. Now, this is a bunch of NBA officials. Why do I throw these guys up here? Because of this post game referee press conference to explain calls. I mean, that's another thing that if the referees in an NBA game or an NHL game, or I don't know, maybe a baseball game, maybe an NFL game, because they're doing it in soccer overseas, I believe. I think they're starting to do that. If you make a bludgeon call, you need to step in front of the media and tell them why you said that. Why did you make that call? Why did this lead to this? And umpires, referees, they're going to have their own say. And trust me, they're also in a management system. they're going to be told to say things a certain way. So unfortunately, I don't know if you're going to really get what you want, but there's that feeling. Of course, players might want to hear it, but they're only going to hear what they want to hear. You know how it is. I've pretty much gone through whatever they did, but I added one more and I put this one up. It's simply this: 3-on-3 overtime. So it's going to be the last thing I pick up. I need your comments, and I do this for the hockey talk. There's rumors that they're going to probably change the overtime rule. They may get rid of the shootout. Now, in my personal opinion, I would get rid of the shootout. 3-on-3 is the most exciting stuff. I've seen it in person to the 3 Ice League. I would personally like to see them go a continuous 3-on-3. I would make it go 10 minutes, 3-on-3 the whole way. And if you have to go to a shootout, fine. But I would just, heck, somebody's got to score. I would make it 3-on-3, no time limit. Somebody's got to score and get rid of the shootout because the shootouts can go a very, very long time. So could this. But they're also trying to manipulate about you need to have the puck in your in the offensive zone, and you can't be wasting time on your defensive end of making changes and waiting to try to get the right thing because they'll call you delay of game on that. So personally, 3-on-3, we've seen it happen. The World Cup of Hockey, we've seen it recently. My God, we've seen some great things happen in 3-on-3 hockey. I would keep that. I would just let it go 3-on-3 continuously. You want to win. You want to win. Don't do it on a shootout. Score a goal. In fact, to be quite honest with you, I'd almost rather do that the rest of the way, even though it's 5-on-5 for the playoffs. But guys, I gave you a whole bunch of ideas. Give me your own. Throw your own thing about what would you like to change in the world of sports. There's a lot of them. I know there's a lot of them. I didn't get to every one of them, but I got a good handful of what all sports culture threw at us, and I was able to put it out for you guys today. Whatever you can do, you like the video, you made it to the end, hit the like, thumbs up, throw a comment in. What would you like to change in the sports world? I'm so happy you got a chance to hang out with me today, and we'll do this again soon. The bar is closed, and as always, before you go out and do everything that you want to do today, I advise you, please do. I really appreciate it. I really do. You guys are wonderful people. Hit that subscribe button so I see you back here in the next one.